Does anyone here smoke pot? Any pot smokers? Okay, that section of the room right there. Alright. Fuck all of you. I went to college. My buddy of mine, he gave me my first edible. That shit fucking sucked. I do not smoke pot at all. And apparently, you're not supposed to eat the whole edible at once. Especially on an empty stomach. How am I? Ew, oh, weed chills you out. No, the fuck it doesn't. It does not chill you out. I've never felt like I was dying more in my life. I was calling people on my phone. I was laying on the floor. I was calling people saying, have you ever seen a wood floor? Because it's pretty good. I love wood. Wonder what wood's made out of. You ever think about dents and mass and all that? It was the worst fucking experience of my life. Is anyone here a cyclist? No? Anyone? Bike? Bicycles? Good. Fuck all of them. Nobody likes you. We have a right to be on the road. No, the fuck you don't. You go about 20 miles under the fucking speed limit. If only they made a fucking path specifically for bikers. There's an idea. Let's see, what else did I have? Oh, back to drugs. Yes, so the fun thing about drugs I've noticed is that it gets a very bad reputation of how drugs are awful. And have you seen any fucking cartoon show? Any creator was on drugs making a cartoon. Let me give you an example. Somebody comes into an office and says, alright, I have this great idea about a talking sponge that's best friends with the fucking starfish, that's friends with the squirrel, and let's have the squirrel look like a fucking astronaut and live underwater, and live in a fucking igloo, and let's have the sponge and his octopus look for a crab that sells food and is rivals with the fucking plankton. So anyways, yeah, any cartoon fucking creators on drugs. Oh, I don't get the concept of camping. The idea of camping is very foreign to me. Like, the idea of fun. You have a week off, and you want to go live like a homeless person. Like, oh no, we go to a campground where they have bathrooms, and it's okay, you don't really have to shit in the woods. You know what else has bathrooms? Your own fucking house. That you can stay at for free. And you don't have to live on the fucking ground in a goddamn tent. And you have things you can sleep in, like a bed. That sounds like a way better vacation.
I'm feeling pretty good. I got a confidence booster not too long ago. This really pretty girl swiped right on me via Tinder. You know, she was bad, bro. But more importantly, she was shallow. So like somewhere within our phone conversation, right? You know, we get to talking, and I build up the confidence and the balls to ask her over for some of these homemade tacos in a couple of episodes of The Voice that I had to catch up on via Hulu, you know. She was all like, Corey, that sounds like a great idea, you know, but I don't know you, so we might want to meet in public. I'm like, yeah, that's fair, you know. Where you want to meet at? She was like, where's your favorite place to eat? I was like, at home. She made these fucking tacos. Yeah. Anyways, you know, we get to the restaurant, you know? We get to the restaurant, and, you know, everything started tasting delicious. It was, you know. She got the enchiladas, I got the nachos, you know. I didn't get the nachos off the menu, I got the complimentary ones. You know, the ones they give you, like, while you're waiting on your food and shit. Chips and salsa, or whatever. Then I ordered water on the rocks with lemon. What about it the responsible way? Yeah, the waitress came over to the table. She could sense we was done and shit, you know. We went to Los Tres Amigos, whatever. She tried to put the bill on the table, but before she could, I had to stop her like, let's go. You mind separating that shit? She was like, what's the problem? You don't pay for your bill, you don't pay for your girlfriend, you know? I just met her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, dude, go ahead and separate that shit. Go ahead. I turned back to the table, look at her. And she's like, looking at me, how she looked at her ex-boyfriend, when she found out that he cheated on her with like one of her friends type deal. That I got the password to your phone and I've been scrolling through your texts. I know what you've been doing, look. She started going in, right? She called me a bastard, narcissist, asshole, fuckhead, cheapskate. I had to stop her. I was like, whoa, baby. Chill out, man. All these things you're saying about me right now, well, you're right. I didn't put any of this in my profile. I don't know. It's very attractive how you know me so well. Yeah, but I don't know. She wasn't having it, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't having it. I turned back to the table, you know what I'm saying? And she hit me with the and it made me really mad because she swiped left on me, like literally in real life this time. You fucking bitch. Yeah, I had to tell her, like, your vagina is not a VIP pass to my walk, right? What I'm saying is, you don't fuck on the first night, I don't pay on the first date. And who says this has to be the first night if we make this the last time we ever see each other? Ever. I'm cool with that, you are. But I'm the type of guy that does better after the relationship is over. I know I do better, just being alone. I'm comfortable with my loneliness. And I've learned to accept that, my son's mother and I. And we get along because I do not call her my baby mama, She keeps me out child support because I have him every weekend. And that way she gets to do whatever the fuck she wants to do. Keep me out of trouble and shit. But the thing is, we taught each other things, you know what I'm saying? After the relationship, she taught me that I need to be single, I taught her that men ain't shit, I turned to comedy. She turned to women, Gucci. Right? Yeah. I set that up good for you two, didn't I? I've never been really that great at dating though, because one thing new is I do have a new vehicle. It has 60,000 miles on it, so now I have something to brag to my mom about. I'm like, I got the best car in the family, bitch. Come on. Confidence booster. Yeah. But I'm telling you, I used to drive a 4-door Chevy 2000 Blazer with a 3-door feature option. You know what I'm saying, Doc? What that means is my front driver's side door didn't open at all. You know what I'm saying? Passenger side door just, that's the way you had to get in that motherfucker. So you can imagine going on dates, right? We're coming back from Applebee's, that young 2 for $20, Walking to the whip and whatnot. I open the door, passenger side door. She's like, well, you're a gentleman. Whole mood change, and I gotta move around the way I just gotta get in first, actually. I'm still a gentleman, you know what I'm saying? You mind pumping gas on my way home? That way I ain't gotta cry. Yes, I give you the 20. Yeah, right there. Then I got smart on that shit, I said, let me just pick you up at the door. You still like me? Yeah, it's fucked up. What else is new? Let's see, my son just turned 8 last month, and he's, growing up so fast, dude. He's the man, dude. He's the shit. Right, you ain't gotta clap, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying. But anyways, this nigga, we just put him in jiu-jitsu class, because I've been watching some UFC, and I'm trying to impose my dreams on him, right? Dude, do you like this? I like it too. We put him in jiu-jitsu class, and he's pretty tall, you know what I'm saying? He's getting there, nigga, like right here, you know what I'm saying? I want to because I don't want him to get to the point where he can start beating my ass and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, right? So him and his cousin came over this weekend, and his mom, you know, she was like, let them watch The Karate Kid. And I was like, that's a good idea. We're gonna do that shit. So we part 1 and 2. I fell asleep on 3, you know what I'm saying? Boy, easy. Anyways, I woke up like, tell me what you guys learned. Tell me what you guys know. You know, he was like, well, we learned Mr. Miyagi. They start doing that shit. Like, yeah. Man, I tripped the fuck out of both of them. Like, man, get choked. Don't ever do that shit in a fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you see somebody doing that shit, you better run. Probably on drugs, bro. I don't know. We got, last month passed so fast, didn't it? Okay, I guess not. Well, for me it did. And it's Black History Month, so I was like, dude, don't go away. Oh. Yeah, whatever. You know? And I never really felt anyway about Black History Month when I was a kid, as you can tell by the way that I talk. You know, I experienced a lot of black on brown crime, you know. Wasn't quite black enough via middle school. You know what I'm saying? All the black kids, they'd be like, Corey, man, you sound white? Man, you talk white? Man, you be dressing all white? You even act white, man. You got the same skin color. Tell us what's the difference, man. What is the difference, yo? You know, it's pretty easy. I know my dad. And you guys don't. You know, I can't swim, so it should be okay, right? Anyways, that's my time. My name is Corey Jackson. Thank you very much.
Anyway, I get my sense of humor actually from my biological mother. She was pretty funny. Like the way she abandoned us. That was a joke, you can laugh at that. She ain't abandoned us, she just took 35 fucking years to find out where she left us. So, anyway, whoever has been woken up at night by Amber Alert. Would somebody chain that bitch up? Oh my God. So for work, I have a phone for work. I have actually 2 work phones plus my regular phone. My wife's phone, I got, how many kids we got? Like 5 kids? Man, shit be going off all crazy, you know? It's bad, you know? The guy that we buried under the house, his phone was still on. So I noticed something from talking to one of my Caucasian friends. You guys will take any animal to the vet. They told me they took their guinea pig to the vet the other day. The bill was $94. How much does a fucking guinea pig cost? They're $30 fucking. They all look the same. She's like, well, my son doesn't have any siblings. That's like his brother. I wouldn't pay $94 to take my brother, and he's a human, to the doctor. You don't believe me? Ask him. You see why his nose is still crooked, but yeah. Anyway, my youngest son just turned 10. My wife had this bright idea because where we live out in Carlton, just south of Detroit, right by Monroe, the meth capital of the world. I think the population of Monroe is like 10,000 people, but it's only like 4,000 teeth. But that's cool. So anyway, there's a skating rink out there that all the kids in this class, their parents always rent out the rink. The whole class shows up and all their cousins and everything show up. My wife's like, well, let's rent that out for Micah, like, you know, the rest of the kids. So one thing we weren't taking into consideration, my son is an asshole. Like legit. So we rent the rink out. He's a big time gamer. She orders him a custom made fucking Xbox cake. She orders it from here in Grand Rapids, has her family bring it from Grand Rapids to where we live. They bring it with not so much as a dent in the frosting. Me and her in the car less than 5 minutes. We smashed the whole fucking corner, damn near dropped it on the floor. So we're at the skating rink, and it's about 10 of his cousins and one kid from class. So I ended up opening his backpack the other day. He's got a list, a fucking stack of invites like this. I said, Micah, why don't you hand those out? Dad, I don't like school, and I hate the people I go to school with. And he said, but if I'd been thinking, that would have been more gifts. So yeah, that kind of backfired on him and us. But what's crazy is the coordination level in our family is a little low. So we got 10 kids skating. They got the entire rink to themselves. How the fuck are you crashing into each other? I really don't get it. So we have five kids, five, right? We're good? All right, 5. So that's what friend of the court says anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Boy, when I was done paying my child support, man, I was happier than a runaway slave, I swear to God. And the lady said, I didn't think you'd be done before I retired. And I was on my first year when you started. And I looked behind her, she's got a 30-year fucking plaque. I'm like, okay, whatever. So anyway, my daughter is taking care of a friend's kid. Her friend, which I don't know if she's gonna look at this, I'll post these on my YouTube channel. But this retarded bitch called CPS on herself. And you guys, I don't make this shit up. This shit, I swear on everything. If I'm lying, let him die right there, not me. I got a lot of life to live. But she said, come get this boy, and because I can't take care of him. They said, well, get a hold of friends and family, see if someone can help you out. So my daughter's like, yeah, my friend's kid, blah, blah, blah. The kid's in fucking Tennessee. She picks this kid up. At the same time, my wife tells one of my other daughter's friends, we'll watch her kid for a few weeks. So my wife's sitting over there, I ain't gonna look at her through this because she's told me I'm gonna go to hell if I talk about these 2 boys. Oh my gosh. So I'm there with fucking like 2 Rain Men. The one kid comes home from school, they got him enrolled in school and shit. I'm like, hey, how was school today? And he has a speech problem, right? So if y'all laugh, y'all going to hell with me. So I said, how was school today? He's like, good. So I get to thinking, because he's 6. And I'm like, he's a little older, so he has this problem, right? So I'm thinking, you know, when he gets older and gets him a girl, you know, what's he going to be like? Yeah, girl, that's so good. You know, so anyway, my daughter had some other people stay with us for a while, and they had some slime. You guys got any kids that play with that slime bullshit? Yeah, so I have a blue stain in the carpet in one of my bedrooms, about yay big, and stains on the ceiling. They're throwing the slime on the ceiling and letting it fall. The shit won't come out. So then she brings in a little fucking dude boy, and he goes and writes on, it's a big ass closet. He writes on this door, this door, this door, this door, the wall, the next wall. And my wife's like, well, you know, he's special needs. I said, that motherfucker gonna need a Band-Aid, I swear to God. So, but he eats and eats and eats, but he can't really, like with my wife and my daughter, he'll be like, hungry, hungry. He comes up to me, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If you can't figure it out, you're gonna starve. So then he's all like, could you make me some pizza rolls? I'm like, oh, okay. So you starve that motherfucker out, he'll ask you. But the other little boy that stayed with us, I would say to him, hey, eat your food. He'd be like, you okay? Yeah, I'm good, motherfucker, eat your food. You okay? So one day he's smashing something on the glass table. I said, well, I'll take this belt off and whip your ass. And he didn't say, you okay? He said, yeah, okay. I'm like, you challenging me? Now, this is the worst part of the whole thing, but it cracks me up. If y'all don't laugh, fuck y'all, I really don't give a shit, this is funny. The little boy had a NASA shirt on. He happens to be black. I'm part black, so don't get offended. I'm using the N-word. But I said, when he wears that shirt, it stands for nigga ain't smart enough. So my whole family's laughing. I said, well, apparently y'all ain't either, because enough don't start with a fucking A. Damn. So, yeah, so I went and bought my family each a NASA shirt, they dumbasses. So, yeah. Damn, damn, I had something else to tell you guys, I fucking forgot. ADD kicked in, and they asked me, why don't you smoke weed? I can't remember shit as it is. So, I got some things I wrote down in case this shit happened. Oh, back to being adopted. So, this is kind of a bit of an age test here. I had to clarify. He thought I was gonna say AIDS. I ain't gonna let your shit out the bag, man. You know what I'm saying? Your girl was like, he cough a lot, he's skinny. But anyway, that's okay. Y'all run out of condoms, you be coughing too, girl. So anyway, so when I was in high school, a lot of my friends didn't know I was adopted. You know, it's not something, you know, you run around and tell people and all that shit. I told them my brother was adopted right out the gate. You know, so I come up, I went to school here in town at Ottawa Hills, and they had a big area we called the mall. And it was about me and about 20 guys. Every day at lunch, we'd sit there doing your mama jokes and all that stuff. One day I walk up, the whole group standing there, and they've all got a bandana tied around their one leg. Does anybody remember what show they used to do that on? Some motherfuckers called me Punky Brewster. And so, for anybody else, just so you can keep up, and then they called me Webster, and then they called me Different Strokes. Yep, so I've got a couple old people where you got that basic TV where you only get like fucking TV land and shit. Oh, you're older? You have an odor? Mm-hmm. My wife's over there, don't get too fresh. She's Mexican, she'll cut your ass. But she's only 4'9", so your knees will be bumped up. Are you 5'1"? Honey, rush her. She's the one that told me to tell the retarded jokes. So, my time's almost up. I was gonna lead off with this. Brian had me follow on stage after Snoop Dogg's stunt double. Where'd he go? Like he about to go play in the Mac or got some sweats on and shit. Cheap ass. I know he got it from Goodwill because I donated them. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming out. Have a good night.
I recently adopted a dog, and thanks. Adoption of a dog is kind of weird, right? Like I don't quite get it because they're like, yeah, if it doesn't work out, you can bring it back, right? Like that's not. Can you do that with children, right? Can you adopt a child? Like this is not fucking working out. Take this shithole back. I don't want it anymore. I know he's 16. Get him the fuck out of my life. I don't want that shit. It's weird. And a lot of people are like, it's a rescue dog. You got a rescue dog. And I did not rescue that dog, right? Like, the building was not in fire, and I fucking rushed in and I grabbed it, right? Like, no one was holding the dog hostage or anything. I broke in with the SWAT team and I rescued it. I paid $50 and I got a fucking dog. I didn't rescue that dog, everybody. I didn't. I bought it. I bought a dog for $50. Craigslist. It's not adopting or rescuing shit. I bought it for $50. And I really didn't know anything about the dog. It was old and lazy. That's all I wanted in a dog. I wanted this dog to be this lazy piece of shit like me, and it'll eat fucking peanut butter out of a jar like I do. That's all I want out of a dog, and that's what the dog does. It's old and it's lazy like me, and it's pretty sweet. But I found out some information about the dog after I already signed the paper saying I will take the dog. Apparently, this dog had its owner had died, and it had been in the house for 3 days before they found out that the owner was dead and the dog was there. And I was like, wow, that's a fucking awful story, right? That's awful. And then I thought, wow, maybe the dog killed the fucking owner. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe this dog's a goddamn murderer, and now I have to sleep with one eye open the whole fucking time. I'm looking, all right, the dog's eating peanut butter. I'm safe for the day. I am safe for the day. All right. I like dogs a lot better than children. I don't have any kids of my own, thank God for that, right? Yeah, fuck those kids, fuck them! I mean, not literally, but fuck them, yeah! Hey, he's not a pedophile, yeah, all right! My neighbor's got a 12-year-old boy, and at once upon a time, I was a 12-year-old boy, and I thank God I am no longer a 12-year-old boy, because they are strange creatures, everybody. They're strange, and at least my 12-year-old neighbor is, because there's no filters. Or this 12-year-old boy has no filter, because he came up to me one day. I was like shoveling snow in the driveway, and he came up to me and asked me a question I was not prepared to answer, because he's like, "Hey, Mr. Stu, if you're having sex with a woman," and I'm like, "I'm shoveling the fucking driveway. Where is this coming from?" And he's like, "You're having sex with a woman. Are you supposed to put your balls in?" Yeah. You're supposed to shove your balls in. It's not sex until you cram them in there. So get a shoehorn, plunger, I don't know, shove them in there, man. Get it? Cram them in there. Hell, spread them apart, one in the front, one in the back. And then just fucking, you get it. And you get it. Don't tell your parents, please. Don't tell your parents. That's how CPS gets called. Awful. Can you imagine the first girl who has sex with this guy? She is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" No one likes that. You watch some weird German porn. Do not need that in my life. Get the hell out. Get out. Oh boy, comedy's fun. I don't know if you've got to see much of it during Laugh Fest. I love it. I've been very busy. Comedy is not always something that you do right out of the gate. You don't like graduate from high school like, "I'm a comedian now," right? Like you do other life things. And I had this one job. I worked in a hospital for a bit. I was a patient transporter, right? I was one of those guys. I moved people from like one room to the next. That's all I did. Sweet, man, because I only dealt with them for a couple minutes and then we fucking moved on with our lives, and it was great. And I got to see a lot about people. Like I'd get a lot of info on them. I'd learn their ages and what they were there for. And my favorite people were the old people, because they got no filter at all. They don't give a shit. They're like, "I'm gonna die soon. I'm gonna fucking tell you how it is," right? That's the kind of people you want to deal with. And I met this one woman. She was 94 years old. I sit there on the paper, 94 years old. So I'm getting her out of her bed. I'm putting on the stretcher. We're walking to the appointment. And I'm like, I gotta know how someone gets to live to be 94 years old, right? That is old age. And so I asked her, like, "Hey man, it says here you're 94. How'd you get to live to be 94? So she was lying on the stretcher. She turned, cocked her head, looked at me, and she's like, "How the fuck would I know?" And then she peed on the stretcher. Everybody, she peed. And that's hate. Everybody, that is goddamn hate. She didn't have to clean that shit up. I did. That's hate. Hate got her done on the floor. That's all I know. She was angry old lady. In pain all the time. The same day, but fate, I guess, I don't know, a 94-year-old man, and I'm like, okay, what's good for the goose? What's good for the gander? So I got him on the stretcher, we're going down the hallway, I'm like, "Hey man, it says on the paper here, you're 94 years old. How did you get to live to be 94? And he turned and cocked his head, looked at me, and he goes, "Pussy and ketchup." And then he died. It was weird. I mean, he died right there. And I'm like, "You can't die. I got so many questions, right? Like, are those two things? Or am I putting the ketchup on the pussy? I need to know." So I'm like pounding on his chest, doing CPR, totally wrong, right? But he's dead, man. He fucking died. And now pussy and ketchup is my rosebud, everybody. I don't. That's a long way for a Citizen Kane joke, everybody. That's pretty nice.